Give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth, give me light, give me life, keep me free from birth, give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load, trying to touch and reach you with heart and soul. My Lord, please take hold of my hand, that I might understand you. Won't you please, oh, won't you give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth, give me light, give me life, keep me free from birth, give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load, trying to touch and reach you with heart and soul. Oh, my won't you please, oh, won't you give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth, give me light, give me life, keep me free from birth, give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load, trying to touch and reach you with heart and soul. Give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth, give me light, give me life, keep me free from birth, give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load, trying to touch and reach you with heart and soul. Oh, my Lord.
Happy Thanksgiving. Here we are on Zoom again this year. We're getting closer to doing live streaming from the sanctuary, but we're not there yet. My name is Barb Wallace, and I am president of the congregation this year, and I am your service leader for today. These words by a former member of our church, Reverend Maureen Kaloran, brings us into the service in a lighthearted way. T starts out for turkey with tofu and together. H reminds us of a happiness. May it grow beyond all measure. A means all who are returning, a reunion in fall. N for newcomers to our church and a hearty welcome to all. K for kind friends with whom we share dinner. S means surely you'll have fun, but you won't get any thinner. G is for generosity, to share what we've been given. I for integrity. May we bring it to our living. V is very special because of each one here. We give thanks for individuals, for each one is so dear. N stands for this nation, its strengths and its challenges. And G reminds us of all our blessing and calls us to give thanks. Now, if you've been following along, you put that all together and you get Thanksgiving. Reverend Jamie will be preaching today, and I would also like to acknowledge the others who are producing today's service. The tech team of John Elliott and Bruce McPherson, storyteller Tim Versteeg, and our music ministers, Rachel Derry, Cindy Carey, Marianne Forbes, and George Varvis. Thank you to all who have worked to put this service together. The goal of this congregation is to extend our hearts and welcome to whoever you may be. We're connected through our desire to live out our ideals of peace, love, and justice for all. We are here to love one another and to encourage each of us to our own spiritual growth. The congregational mission includes our commitment to nurture one another, serve the community, and inspire action to heal the world. We are not the first people on this land, and others will follow. The stewardship of the original peoples preserved this place for future generations. We are connected to the web of all existence, and it behooves us to honor these people by acknowledging this connection and preparing for the future. And we commit ourselves to righting the wrongs of the past, creating respectful relationships with Indigenous peoples, and to shaping a future of equal opportunity and possibility for us all. And along with this land acknowledgement, I'd like to remind everyone about the very special meeting that's going to happen next Sunday at noon. As a congregation, the board has called us together to discuss and hopefully commit to becoming an anti-racist group. Personally, we all have work to do in this area, and we can help each other as we more fully understand the depth of racism in our world. The first step is to adopt the 8th principle to add to our 7 principles. The board has put a statement of support and encouragement on the homepage of our website, and I invite you to read it. Please mark your calendar and stay for the meeting next Sunday. We welcome you all to join us on this journey, knowing that only members can vote.
Thank you so much, Barb. What a wonderful way to start our morning together. My name is Jamie Boyce, and I have the great privilege of serving this congregation as the interim minister. We gather today to celebrate the gifts and possibilities of beloved community. In doing this, we invite the spirit of appreciation and gratitude to flow through us and among us. We open our hearts in love and count the abundance of blessings that surround, hold us, and keep us. Whoever you are, wherever you are in your life journey, you are welcome here. Let us open our hearts and minds as we gather for worship on this glorious Thanksgiving Day. I invite you to join me in our words of unison as we light the chalice, the symbol of our shared faith. May this flame be our light of friendship and love. We have a special musical song that is starting our morning today. I invite you to enjoy it as it sets the conversation for appreciation and gratitude, and launching us into a reflection on trees. I give you Tree Song. And thank you, Rachel, for this wonderful, Rachel and Mary, for this wonderful version of this song.
Like our church community, we bend
and we stand, change, and endure to see another year. The willow dancing in the breeze joins winds of change with grace and ease. The oak and acorn at its birth rose up from the dark earth. Well, I've looked at trees from sky and ground, from near and far, and all around. I see their lessons, how they live, and I receive what they freely give. All ablaze, the maple tree displays its leaves diversity. All together on one tree, a dream community. And trees connect the earth and sky. They teach us, reach up, way up high. Amid their branches, creatures thrive, a home the trees provide. I've looked at trees from sky and ground, from near and far, and all around. I see their lessons, how they live, and I receive what they freely give. Trees take sunshine, water, air, and make a peach, apple, or pear, which they generously share to sustain one and all. And trees represent our family, ancestry, and fertility. Growth and individuality and immortality. I've looked at trees from sky and ground, from near and far, and all around. I see their lessons, how they live, and I receive what they freely give. We need trees and they need our care. We need to ensure that they'll be there. Their gifts and lessons help us live, and now it's our turn to give. To give.
It is my great joy to invite Jennifer Kay to our service today. Jennifer has been a member of this congregation for almost 20 years and has held many different roles during that time. But her current one, and most interesting perhaps, is her role as East Coast correspondent stationed in Newfoundland. We are a congregation of coasts, and she reports regularly to us via Zoom from Newfoundland. She is here today to share a testimonial in support of the 8th principle work that we are doing together. We warmly welcome you today to our service. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you very much, Jamie. So I'm happy to have this chance to share a story that illustrates why the 8th principle is important to me. It's a very personal story that happened in a very public forum at this church, and some of you may remember it. So a couple of years ago, I chaired the Strategic Planning Task Force, and its members were Ashley Daniels, Pierre Giroux, Irene Laurie, Beverly Horton, Gail Rappolt, and Julie Bergshoff. And last year on Zoom, we held a consultation on a draft plan, and I was the facilitator for that meeting. The last part of the meeting saw each of the small working groups reporting back on their discussions, as they do. So one of the groups had a discussion about hiring practices, and concerns were raised about whether applying a diversity lens to our hiring practices would lead to the hiring of unqualified people. We've all heard this exclusionary and frankly racist argument many times, and many of us have come to understand it to be exactly that. But some of us are still working through our understanding of how racist stereotypes inform our thinking and how harmful and hurtful this can be to the people being stereotyped. The group that had this conversation did not call it out as racist and hurtful. And the facilitator of that group reported it back to the large group. As the meeting facilitator, I had the opportunity to call the comment out, but instead I did what good white people have been doing for centuries. I ignored it. I knew it was racist and offensive, but in the moment, I took the path of least resistance and simply moved on. I consider myself to be a good facilitator, but a good facilitator would have found a way to call out the comment clearly and positively, creating a teachable moment out of a difficult one. If we had had the 8th principle in place and had been working on its implementation, I would have been less likely to miss this important opportunity to contribute to the dismantling of racism, and more likely to have had the skills and confidence to facilitate the situation skillfully. I consider myself to be a good person, but turning a blind eye to discrimination isn't consistent with that. We've all done it many times, but the 8th principle makes it clear that we have to stop doing it, and it will hold us accountable in a way that hasn't been the case before. I also consider myself to be a good friend, but in that moment, I showed my friend Beverly and anyone else who was personally impacted by this racist statement that I could not be counted on to support them. This was the hardest part of the whole thing for me. At the end of the day, racism is personal, and dismantling racism means putting the needs of our racialized friends ahead of our own needs to avoid conflict or difficult conversations. The 8th principle, with its focus on dismantling racism as a spiritual practice and not just a social justice issue, will help us all to be better friends and allies. So I will be voting for the 8th principle next week, having learned firsthand that I am quite capable of contributing to the perpetuation of racism and hurting people I care about in the process. I need to be supported, challenged, forgiven, and held accountable in my anti-racist journey. And you are the people who are best positioned to do that for me and with me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer Kay, and thank you for adapting to my cue. I was supposed to welcome Barb Wallace into our service. So Jennifer, you were so graceful and so gracious with stepping right into that space with effortlessly. So it is my great honor and my great privilege to invite Barb Wallace into our service to share with us a moment of gratitude in recognition of all the hard work that has gone into sustaining this beloved community for the past 18, 19, going on 20 months. Barb, welcome, and thank you for your agility too.
We're on. We have a fabulous staff. They're hardworking, creative, dependable. We've got Bruce McPherson, Tim Versteeg, and I understand, Tim, that you are actually the co-host on the tech team today. I have that information wrong. Sorry, Tim. Rachel Derry and Reverend Jamie Boyce are our staff in the more formal sense, although we have other contract people who support our church, Cindy Carey being the one that we know most. Jamie has just joined us in August, and we look forward to getting to know her and learning from her in the future months. So I'll kind of exclude her from this topic right here today. But today, the board, on behalf of the congregation, would like to take a few minutes during this service of gratitude to thank all who work for our church. We have spent time thinking about more specific things that they have done for us, and done for the church in this past while, and we want to highlight that, knowing that we never know the complete picture of the many things that they do that are not recognized or acknowledged. They've always worked hard at their job, producing wonderful services, keeping the building functioning and in repair, giving support to any of us who are in need, and creating a growing and caring community for all of us. But when the pandemic hit in March of 2020, they went into overdrive. Things had to be done. The building closed, the congregation notified, Zoom learned, new services created and adapting to an electronic medium, and what to do with the music, the thing that we all love. All the staff jumped in to provide their knowledge and expertise and started learning new ways for us to continue to be a community, even though we weren't meeting in person. A lot of the comments that the board contributed center around this reaction to our situation in the last couple of years, and here are some of them. From the very start of the COVID, I have been impressed with how rapidly we were able to have online worship in a meaningful way that felt that we were connecting as a community. I appreciate all the elements of our worship and the chat rooms that follow. I appreciate the thought that goes into creating these special times every week. We were able to hold the AGMs over Zoom with the expertise of our staff. The polling and technology had to be figured out. Same goes for the 6-minute memoirs. The worship and events exude warmth and allow us to feel connected, which is hard to do in a virtual setting. It has been an ongoing process, and the outcomes keep getting more impressive as new virtual opportunities are explored and implemented. About halfway through, the coming of age program had to be put on a pause due to the COVID closures, where in-person interactions were not possible. It resumed in the summer months, and the participants gave their credos during the service on September 20th last year, all in virtual format. And some comments for individual staff. To Tim. Tim is enormously conscientious. As a board member, I never have to worry about how well he'll do his job. His book selections are thoughtful and topical. He keeps up in his field. He is wonderful with the kids and creative in dreaming up activities that will interest them while furthering the CYRE goals. Bruce. I don't worry about the many of the church's responsibilities, as I know that Bruce is taking care of them. His familiarity with the policies is epic. He is very conscientious at keeping the support services aside of our church working well, and his reports to the board are complete and very helpful. To Cindy, how wonderful the chants that you have written for our services have been. They speak to the need in all of us to slow down and reflect so that we can be our better selves. And the photography that is blended in is spectacular. I often find myself singing them throughout the week. My favorite is the one that we sang last week, Be Still. For Rachel, week after week, we count on Rachel to organize and present wonderful music for our services. This has been particularly difficult during COVID, but she continues to provide excellence in our music to our church. She is also great at encouraging and managing all the musicians that contribute. From the very bottom of my heart, I would like to thank Cindy Carey and Rachel Derry for enabling our church to continue to enjoy music from our choir and other performers. Although Zoom works well for meetings and church services, it is not suitable for singing together. Thanks to Rachel and Cindy for their dedication, commitment, and hard work, as together they learned how to combine our personal recordings and make a coherent piece of music to share with our community. Now, if we're all together, I'd say, let's have a round of applause to thank them. But here we are on Zoom. So how about everybody waving or using that symbol reaction to show our appreciation? Thank you so much to all our staff.
Number 128, For All That Is Our Life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing with thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Our story for all ages today on Canvas Sunday is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much, and the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb in my trunk, and swing from my branches, and eat apples, and play in my shade, and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money, and you will be happy." And the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, come up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife, and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I'm too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk. He made a boat and he sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them. I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I'm just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I'm very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, "well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. It's the end of our story for today.
As we settle into a time of reflection together, I want to acknowledge the story that Jennifer shared in her reflection with us this morning, and name my own gratitude for hearing that story, for the vulnerability of bearing witness to that story, of bringing that story to us so that we may gather around it, hear it, witness it, hold those in our community who were harmed by those events close, and commit ourselves to becoming anti-racist, anti-oppressive, and doing the work of building the beloved community that is truly, truly healing and redemptive. Thank you so very much. I hold that story with tenderness, and I invite all of us to stay in that vulnerability, that care and awareness. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that invitation. I invite us to turn our hearts and minds to a spirit of reflection and prayer. Spirit of life, spirit of love, we gather our hearts in gratitude for this community. We gather our hearts in gratitude for those who make themselves vulnerable. We gather our hearts in gratitude for the abundance of the earth that we can care for with greater commitment. We notice that we have built a community of resilience, and we know there is work to do. There are losses to grieve, harms to heal, and a future that awaits us that has the possibility of deep and abiding goodness. Let the spirit of gratitude flow through us, and may the words "thank you, leap from our lips as a prayer and gesture of hope. May we turn towards the world around us and say, thank you for this web of being, for community, for smiles, for friends, for family we choose, for food and water, animals to love, and our earthly home. May our gratitude stir us to action, and our love transform the world. May it be so.
May I, like a tree, lift my arms to the sky and rejoice in each moment that's given to me. Like a tree, may my roots hold me close to the earth, so that I may both give and receive. May I, like a tree, lift my arms to the sky and rejoice in each moment that's given to me. Like a tree, may my roots hold me close to the earth, so that I may both give and receive. May I, like a tree, lift my arms to the sky and rejoice in each moment that's given to me. Like a tree, may my roots hold me close to the earth, so that I may both give and receive. May I, like a tree, lift my arms to the sky and rejoice in each moment that's given to me. Like a tree, may my roots hold me close to the earth, so that I may both give and receive. May I, like a tree, lift my arms to the sky and rejoice in each moment that's given to me. Like a tree, may my roots hold me close to the earth, so that I may both give and receive. So that I may both give and receive. So that I may both give and receive.
I invite Mary Eve into our service this morning to share with us about our canvas.
Thank you, Jamie. Good morning, everybody. Last Monday's Canvas communication email from me, musing on trees. First off, thank you so much to Rachel for singing the tree song lyrics that I wrote coincidentally on National Tree Day last month. I didn't know it was National Tree Day, so I don't know. There must have been something in the air coming through me to be able to write those lyrics on that day. And thanks to Cindy for her own tree song that we just heard. Although I'm not able to speak to you this morning from the sanctuary, with trees outside the windows and our beautiful tree sculptures besides me, I do have some leaves. There's more about that later. So Why trees is our motif this year? I think you've heard a few ideas so far on the surface, but some things that I did want to share with you. Why trees? Because trees offer such a rich source of metaphor and symbolism. Think of the tree of life, our family tree, or the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Because trees represent interdependence, individuality, and diversity, just like you use. Because trees can teach us about living, growing, giving, changing, and connecting with the world and each other, all of which can be applied to our individual selves, to our lives, to our faith, and to our church community. Because trees are generous in their freely given gifts to us. Think about it. Oxygen, food, medicine, shade, building materials, paper, fuel for cooking, and light, just to name a few. And because certain tree qualities displayed by us and our church during the past and present COVID times will also be necessary for whatever the future brings. And if you haven't noticed by now, those tree qualities are represented by the acronym TREES, T-R-E-E-S. We have been, we are, and we will need to continue to be together, resilient, engaging, enduring, solid. And finally, why trees? Because just as we need trees in order to live, and they need our care and protection, we need our church, and our church needs us. Today is Thanksgiving Sunday, a time to reflect on gratitude, giving, and grace. We have much to be thankful for, including our church. And from Barb, we've heard many things about our church to be grateful for. It is also Canvas Sunday, when we begin our 2-week pledge campaign, when we are all canvassed, that is, contacted and asked to give, to make a financial pledge of support to our church for the operating budget for next year, which is the same as last year, $280,000. Canvas information packages were sent out a few days ago by email or postal mail. And Canvas information is also available on the church website homepage when you log on. We realize that not everyone may be in a position to make a financial pledge. So we ask that you give what you can, if you can. Please reply by October 24th, but preferably sooner, even if you're unable to pledge. Our wonderful team of Canvas callers will be making follow-up calls after that date. Pledge campaign results will be represented by, now here comes Vanna, these autumn leaves, which will be attached to the trees in our sanctuary. So while outside the leaves will be dropping their leaves, inside our church sanctuary, our trees will be growing leaves. So let's try to fill their bare branches with at least 280 leaves. I could close my talk by incorporating another tree word that starts with the letter T, like tremendous, but instead I'll just say thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who contributed to service today. I am especially grateful for this community, for the invitation to serve you and to be with you as you discern and journey towards your next settled minister. Ross Gay, in his extraordinary poem, Catalog of Unabashed Gratitude, writes a litany, a lament and a celebration, an account of his life and all the things he is grateful for. Embedded in the poem or stories of his past, of nature, of imaginary and an imagination inspired by accidental meetings and the extraordinary artifacts of living. It is exuberant, sad, and confessional as Gay names the beauty of his life as it meets with the struggle of his life. The poem, over 200 delightful lines, circles back time again to a listening friend who Gay frequently pauses to address in gratitude. The meditation is lengthy, and the poem grounds the reader in a present moment, a relationship of love and care. It allows us to see and imagine ourselves and our own catalog of gratitude unfolding in our lives. He writes, addressing his friend, and thank you too. And thanks for the corduroy couch I have put you on. Put your feet up. Here's a light blanket, a pillow, dear one, for I can feel this is going to be long. I can't stop my gratitude, which includes, dear reader, you, for staying here with me, for moving your lips just so as I speak. Here is a cup of tea. I have spooned honey into it. The offering of tea with honey, a gift of gratitude, is touching, even sentimental, but it isn't soggy with sentimentality. It is suggestive of a tenderness, of a generous heart, a heart that wishes we all should pause in the presence of gratitude. When we practice gratitude, we deepen our roots into the ground of our being, anchoring us in this world, holding reverence for a world that is continuously offering us a relationship, community, beauty, and grace. A grace that invites our humanity to expand outward and into the world in love. In the year ahead, we will continue to pause and offer deep gratitude for the gifts of community. Such gestures are not just symbolic. They're part of a spiritual practice that recognizes that gratitude shapes our perception of our experience and allows us to show those around us how much we care, how much we appreciate and value their lives. We forget sometimes. We think it's obvious, but here's the thing. All of us need to know we are valued, that we are loved, and that we are important. Each of us brings something special to our world, and we each can notice that in each other. This week, I invite you to consider two things. I invite you to pause and reflect on all that you are grateful for in your life. And after some reflection, perhaps take a moment to write a thank you note. In our Wednesday all-church email, I'll send a link to a website where you can share your gratitude with the congregation as you are called. This can be a gratitude for the earth, for a smile, for the hot coffee that brought you to life this morning, for children, for families we choose, for the kiss, for the wet, sloppy kiss of a dog. Be lavish, be unabashed in your gratitude. And I want to give a special thanks to Beverly Horton, who taught me about this fun piece of technology where we can share messages together and notice each other in special ways. So thank you, Beverly, for that lesson this week. The second thing I invite you to do is to send in your pledge form. Give as generously as you are able, knowing that your gifts make a difference to the congregation and impact our wider world. If you have any questions about our pledge process or the pledge season in general this year, please reach out to our Canvas committee. We are a tree rooted in the earth with heritage and roots. We are resilient, sturdy, and we will continue to provide shelter, to provide oxygen, and to provide beauty to the world together. May this year continue to bless us and keep us. May we continue to draw from the roots of beloved community, and may we remain resilient in the midst of uncertainty. May we each find our call to serve and to share in the season of gratitude, and may our lives be inspired to action. May it be so.
Good morning. We're going to do hymn number 1010, and I must say I really cannot wait until we can all sing this together. So I hope wherever you are, you're rocking with gratitude and singing along, and we're going to change some things that we're thankful for, so pay attention and I will yell them out, but we're going to start nice and slow. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Our friends, oh, we give thanks for our precious friends, for all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for our precious friends. Our song, oh, we give thanks for our precious song, for all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for our precious song. Earth, oh, we give thanks for our precious earth, for all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for our precious earth gifts. Oh, we give thanks for our precious gifts, for all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for our precious gifts. Let's go back today. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Go, friends, into the world. May the light of love shine down upon you, through you, and radiate into the world and change the world for better, for justice. Let this be a Thanksgiving that invites us to be better, to do better, and to hold gratitude deep in the roots of our being. May it be so. Amen. And blessed be. We extinguish this chalice, but not the fire in our hearts until we meet again.
I give thanks for my life, for all my happiness, all my strife. It made me who I am today, and I think I turned out okay. Well, I try not to step on your toes, and I forgive you if you step on mine. I'd rather not be angry, I'd rather see myself feel fine. Well, there's so much I'd rather do than spend my time getting old and blue. When I look at life on the brighter side, life is a journey, life is a ride. And I've been slowing down, looking around me. When I'm going slow enough, the things I see amaze me. Like the simple beauty of a tree. Or a pebble beach in the rain, a sunny day in fall. The sky, the sparkle on the water on a hot day in July. Moonlight shining through windows where lovers lie. A smile on my baby's face, forever in his eyes. I remember where I live, kindness and love are mine to give. When I start feeling a frown, I slow down and take a look around. And I give thanks for my life, for all my happiness, all my strife. It made me who I am today, and I think I turned out okay. Sing, I give thanks for my life, for all my happiness, all my strife. It made me who I am today, and I think I turned out okay.